We've had an amazing um, waterfall of teachings recently. And something that has really been beneficial for my practice um, was the 5 contemplations that Venerable Kadro shared during the White Tara and grief um, retreat that seems like it was forever ago, but it was just a couple weeks ago. So I'm really been glad that these contemplations have stayed strong in my mind and have been coming up often in my practice. And these contemplations are that I'm aging. I am in the nature of aging, and I'm always getting older. I am in the nature of getting sick. I am in the nature of dying. Everything around me and everybody around me is changing all the time. And I am the owner of my karma, the heir of my karma. I will experience the karma that I have created the causes for. And I think one thing that I really appreciate about these reflections is that it's helped me connect with the dukkha of pervasive conditioning, this unsatisfactoriness that is really just constantly there, that is so familiar that I don't even notice it. And that these little small little blips of joy and pleasure are really nice, but it's just this, these I'm seeing a little bit more are, these smaller situations, whereas the underlying river is that I am getting older. I am gonna get sick if I'm not right now, or like right now, I feel like I'm suffering the illness of exhaustion. I'm not sure that's a documented disease, but I think other people here might have it too, so it could be contagious. Watch out. Yeah, the sunshine definitely can contribute to that illness. And that I am gonna die, that there's no way to get around this. And it's been really nice really thinking about this actually during, meals and things, which, is not my biggest attachment, but it's something that I come in contact with every day is eating. And it's actually been a lot easier to cultivate gratitude for food when I'm not so focused on how it tastes, because this is just one more meal on my way to the grave. Like, it doesn't matter if it's amazing tasting or if it's what I particularly want, but I can really cultivate this gratitude for the folks who cooked it, who offered it, who grew it, who were part of this incredible chain of producing it, because I can see that it's nourishing my body right now. And in these 5 contemplations, there isn't this mention of precious human life, but I think this is something important that I enjoy keeping in mind too, because we have this, this underlying or sometimes really present pervasive conditioning, and yet we're here with this precious human life that we can practice and we can create the causes for something different. And also another advantage of seeing this unsatisfactoriness in my own life and how I can just, really go through these different moods and, how that it's not so worth it to be, running after things and grasping after these things that I think are going to bring me pleasure, because that's maybe it will for a moment, but it's going to be a lot more it's more unsatisfactory than pleasure. Overall, is to see that this is actually the experience of everyone around me too. And so when other people, maybe they don't treat me like I want to be treated, or maybe the way that they act is really kind of surprising and confusing to me, it's when I keep these in mind for myself that I am, aging, I am going to get sick, and I'm on my way to the grave, and everything around me is changing all the time. and I'm also experiencing the results of my karma, I can see that that's the experience for everyone else too. That other people may have, some pain in their body regarding aging, or maybe their memory isn't as well, good as they used to be. Maybe they're not feeling good today. Maybe they just had another encounter with someone else that, wasn't what they expected. And so, that just kind of comes out in different ways. And so seeing how these are so true in my life, I have been able to, develop some more compassion and understanding for others, because we're all going through this. And help me really also strengthen this determination to be free from this situation, that because things aren't totally horrible right now, I do have this opportunity to practice. And the best thing that I can do is really to watch my mind, to see when that attachment comes up. And, sometimes instead of just going right to the snack counter and grabbing some sugary treat, really thinking about it, that it's good that I'm not just indulging that craving, because then it's just going to continue and grow stronger. Or whatever that is, whatever that, when I am tired, that maybe it's not the best thing to just check out and go to sleep. Maybe it's good to go for a walk, or move my body, or work with my mind, instead of just indulging what my attachment mind thinks it wants. And then also seeing that it's not just me here in this situation, wanting to really be able to help others get out of this dukkha of pervasive conditioning and this cycle of existence. How can I show up in a way that is just a bit more kinder and gentler, like despite not being comfortable all the time, despite being kind of cranky sometimes and tired sometimes, how can I keep showing up in a way that is helpful, instead of continuing to do more harm and continuing to keep myself and others, in this cycle of creating karma and indulging in afflictions, so that we just keep circling through again and again. And I've been appreciating Venerable's teachings on Volume 4 and going through the qualities of the Buddha. And I've been reviewing them pretty slowly, and it's been nice to actually go through them nice and slowly. And so I'm on the first one. And this is where the Buddha is, he can see what is possible and what is impossible. And so he sees that it's possible that we create happiness from virtuous actions and virtuous mental states. And he sees that it's impossible to create happiness from non-virtuous mental states and from harming others. And so one thing also that's in that section that I find really inspiring is that it's impossible for someone with this right view, with I think more probably the right view of emptiness, that nothing exists inherently, that we're misperceiving most things. But when someone has this right view, they don't consider conditioned phenomena of samsara as permanent, pleasurable, and the self. Although it's possible for someone like myself who lacks this right view to see them this way. And so when I can get kind of caught up in, my afflictions and thinking that I'm not getting what I want, that remembering that there's another way to see it, remembering that that is impermanent, that my moods are fluctuating, what I want is constantly fluctuating, what I want isn't actually going to bring me the pleasure that I'm looking for. And then, who is it that is tired? Because when I keep telling myself that I'm tired, it really kind of solidifies this, and reifies it. And then I get even more tired and more cranky. But when I can kind of challenge that and see okay, there's some physical sensations, that I'm just feeling really heavy and my eyes are closing extraordinarily easily. But to see that there's not this, solid person that's tired, and that tired is actually, this label that we put on this, kind of conglomerate of different sensations and feelings, and that it really does ebb and flow through the day. It's not this solid sensation. And also, this person who's feeling it is also constantly changing, and there's different stimulus coming at me, there's different opportunities. When I'm standing in the kitchen, I don't feel that same kind of tired sensation as when I'm like sitting in meditation. So there's not this, kind of solid self that is experiencing, tiredness, crankiness, whatever that is. And thinking that it's possible to develop this view to see that, more consistently is actually quite inspiring. So to not get so narrow in what is going on just with myself and being so concerned with my own experience. And then looking at this, this quality of the Buddha in seeing that virtuous actions lead to virtuous results, how can I shift my mind when I'm feeling this, kind of self-pity, like I'm so tired. Nobody understands how tired I am. I mean, yeah, people do understand because I think others are tired too. But to see that actually the way to change the cause of, this unsatisfactoriness is to change my mind and to see what is, what's going right now. How can I cultivate a more virtuous attitude? How can I maybe show compassion for others who are tired, or, extend myself to, lend a hand doing something, even though maybe I don't feel like it. To actually get my motivation more uplifted, to see that when I am able to lend a hand and extend myself because I want to benefit others, that actually brightens my mind, it brightens my attitude, and that is going to create the causes for future happiness instead of just continuing to circle around in my little pity pot, where I might think I'm getting what I want if I like kind of stomp my feet and go to my room. But really, I'm creating the cause for kind of misery then, and also for more miserable circumstances in the future. And so it's been a really good adventure. Seeing unsatisfactoriness is really challenging for me because I have been just into the glitter and shine of samsara for a very long time. So it's quite sobering to really explore this nature of aging, sickness, and death. And also, yeah, actually they're very freeing at the same time. It helps me stay more focused on what I am doing here and trying to get myself out of this situation. And seeing everyone around me is also here too, really strengthening that motivation to be my best self here in the moment, and that I am doing this work and transforming my mind so I can help others do the same and also get out of this constant cycle of suffering.